And it was a casual night out with my friend, and he asked me, what do I think about naturalism, the Big Bang, evolution? And I told him I believe, and he posed three questions to me, Ryan, that changed my life, literally changed my life. His first question was, Carl, you believe in naturalism, that the universe formed naturally. But how would the universe form naturally since matter, that's atoms, hydrogen, helium, carbon, sulfur, all the little atoms that make up life, don't form from nothingness? And I knew that was true. I knew that matter doesn't form from nothingness. And yet I believed in a natural origin of the universe. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And what my thought is doesn't really line up with the laws of physics. And so I had to just sit back just for a second. And then he threw a second question. He said, Carl, you believe that the life formed from chemicals, millions of years ago. And there was this primordial soup where there was, lightning and heated sides of a volcano, and it formed the first living thing. That would be the first bacteria. He said, but you know that the large molecules, that would be DNA, RNA, proteins, which are all necessary for life to begin. They're in every living thing today. He said, they never form naturally under any conditions. And I knew that to be true because we had just finished biochemistry. In other words, since DNA never, ever, ever could form naturally, same with RNA, same with proteins, same with enzymes, how could life ever begin naturally? And it was silent, even though I was at Minsky's Pizza Parlor on a Sunday night, it was just, I couldn't hear anything. I was like, oh my gosh, have I been duped here into believing all this stuff? And then his third question was, Carl, you know that the fossil record doesn't show evolution. I said, no, I've never heard that. He said, well, there's all these fossils, and now the number of fossils collected is like 1 billion. That's a B, billion fossils, 1,000 museums with a million fossils each. The museums have collected 1 billion fossils, but evolution doesn't show up in the fossil record. In other words, just the animal groups just suddenly appear in the fossil record, and we don't see, like a mouse evolving into a bat, or, a lizard evolving into a pteris or a flying lizard. How could you reconcile that with such a large fossil record? It seems impossible that you would always be missing the intermediate animals, which should be there just as much as the end and beginning animals. And Ryan, I sat back there. This whole conversation took me about a minute and a half. And by the way, I would recommend everybody using those same three questions for an evangelization tool. But in a minute and a half, I just realized that I had been duped. I didn't know what to do about it because I still couldn't explain all the things I had already been told about dinosaurs, about millions of years and all this. But I had enough information to say, okay, something's wrong here, and I'm going to go